Hey everybody, how you doing? Devon Singh here. I'm the creator of Raiderball and the founder of the North American Raiderball Association Foundation. So Raiderball, as Tofik briefly explained, is a game that mixes the best components of rugby, soccer, some aspects of basketball, and a South Asian wrestling sport called kabaddi into one sport. Basically, it's an idea that I came up with just kind of off the whim. I'm big into sports, and I've always, wanted to do something like this in my life. The North American Raiderball Association is an organization that we created, which is basically going to be the organization that manages the rules and regulations of Raiderball in the U.S. And our goal is to make it a company that gives back to the community. So the idea is that teams are owned and operated by their specific communities and towns, and all profits made with those teams go back into the community. So it's a community-based program. Basically our whole component of why we even do this is for community and community development. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm just going to kind of briefly explain how this game works. As you can see, we have our makeshift post we set up here, so don't mind our handiwork over here. It's not the best, but we'll make do just for explanation purposes. So we're out here in Rockford, Illinois, by the way. That's one of the two cities that we're considering the origination cities of this sport. The other being Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
So Boffin, go ahead and explain how you told me the story that this game just kind of, you dreamt about it and decided to make it a real thing. Explain how that exactly happened, how it went down.
I mean, it's a little, I don't know, it sounds a little cheesy, but I did have a dream about this sport. I grew up watching kabaddi and a couple of different sports that I mentioned as well, basketball, big football fan, go Giants. It just came to me in a dream. I was in my dream, I was a spectator watching this sport happen live. And it wasn't how we made it out now, but it was just a basic version of it. And I was like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. In that game though, it was kind of like Quidditch, where in Quidditch, if people might realize, I believe it's 3 circles that you got to get the ball into. So these guys were kind of just tossing into one of them, and each circle meant a different point. We kind of just didn't want to overcomplicate the game, so we took that idea and just went with it. So that's the dream I had.
Also, go ahead and explain the Latin that's on the shirt. What does that mean?
So Unitatis per Ludos basically means unity through sports, unity through game. The idea is, again, community, right? Unification, unifying communities together through sport, right? So that's what we're trying to do. Basically, it comes down to our mission statement, as if you were to say in that sense.
Awesome, sounds good. So let's go ahead and have the rules of the game explained, how it works.
Let's do it. All right, so I got a couple of my other friends here, Ehan and Fahad. These guys are going to be my apprentices for this explanation, so we'll go from there. So the way it works is like this. Traditionally, how you're supposed to play is you got 2 sides, offense, defense, and you have 2 goalies for each team. We call them the Raidkiller. I'll explain why. So the offense are called the Raiders, right? Their job is to take the ball, get into the defense's end zone, and score it into a circular hoop similar to that we would have, and make the point. So they're gonna be obviously blocked by the 4 defenders on the field, but at the end of the day, that's the goal. Is get that point and get past the Raidkiller. So when they're playing, they have to get past the 4 defenders, get into their end zone, and make the point. But that's where the Raidkiller sits, the goalie. Now, this is not like a regular goalie in soccer. This is a goalie with extra added responsibilities, we'll say. This goalie's job, the Raidkiller's job, is to basically, there's 3 things they can do. They can block the shot, just like a goalie would. They can come and physically, take you out of the field, offsides, or they can hold you down to run out the clock. So, mentioning the clock, each play is 25 seconds long. We're maybe 30 seconds. We're still working on that part. So 25 to 30 seconds that it would take the Raiders to go from their end into the end zone of the defenders and score. That's the time limit that's allowed in the sport. And that's the Raidkiller's job, like I explained. And if a point's made, other team gets the ball, they're the Raiders now. Or if a point's not made, the other team gets the ball. And there's fouls and penalties involved as well. We can explain that. I'll do a demonstration of that later.
And so, is this sport, is this game used with hands or hands and feet?
That's a good point. So, ideally it would be like rugby. You know, you always have possession of the ball, pass it to your buddies. We're not ruling out feet use, only because like we want to make it a little bit interesting, you know. So you can use your feet; it's just harder. But if I wanted to be like a little creative and I want to pass the ball to my buddy with a kick, sure, let me show off a little bit. That's fine. More sportsmen like it is, the better.
Awesome. All right, so let's get a good idea down with the demonstration, guys.
Definitely. Yep. So with this explanation, obviously we don't have enough people for the actual game, but I'll explain how it is. So I'm a Raider, and Ehan here is a defender, right? Fahad will have a role for him later. He's gonna be the Raidkiller. My defender, my Raidkiller, who's in my end zone, passes me the ball. 30 seconds start, right? I got 30 seconds to get past Ehan with my buddy, so it's going to be Ehan and 3 guys and me and 3 guys. We're going to have to pass the ball to each other, right? So he's going to block me, I pass it to, let's say Fahad is one of my friends, right? Right? Our job is to get to that end zone in 30 seconds and score. But now, in the end zone sits the Raidkiller, who Fahad is going to play the Raidkiller. So let's say this is the start of the end zone. That's it, right? Move it here actually. End zone starts here. I got here with the ball. My buddy on this side, my imaginary friend, passed it to me, and I'm in the end zone now. He can't block me anymore. Ehan's job is done. The 4 defenders, they're done. His job is now to block me. This is the person that can again physically hold me down around whatever time is left on the clock, take me, throw me off sides, or try to block my shot. That's his choice to make depending on me. A couple other things I can do here. He's a big guy. I can't get past him. I don't know. I want to trick him, right? Only one Raider is, that's another thing. Only one Raider is allowed in the end zone at one time. Meaning my friend can't be in here. When I'm in here, I'm the only one in here with this guy. Right? It's me and him now. He's coming at me, let's say. I could jump out, pass it to my friend. While he jumps in, he makes a score. We trick the Raidkiller. There's different things you can do in this game. Creativity and strategy are important. The 3 main components, as I call it, speed, strength, and strategy, are all being tested in this game. All 3 of them are being tested in this game at once.
So basically, each team, including the Raidkiller, has 4 people.
Each team has 5, including Raidkiller, 5 people.
Oh, sorry, 5 people. Okay, okay.
So 4 Raiders, 4 defenders, and each team has their 1 Raidkiller. So it's 5 per team. So
basically, in total, 10 people on the field.
You can play
at one time.
Less. Yeah. So if you want to only have 3 and 3, 3 Raiders and 3 defenders and 1, it's up to you how you want to work it. But you know, you want to keep it 3 to 5 in that zone. I mean, we want to try to 4 is like the best number we thought would work best for the defenders and the Raiders. And the Raidkiller has his or her job at the end zone. Yeah, I don't know if I missed anything, but I think that's kind of the gist of the game. So
Sweet deal.
I got, again, recap, 30 seconds to go from my end zone, pass it to my friends, back and forth, while we're being defended. Oh yeah, that's another thing. These regular defenders can't physically attack you. Only the Raidkiller can physically touch you. They can only block you, right? Like basketball, right? So, or they can try to intercept the ball and try to get it from you. That's another thing they can do as well. So they're blocking me. I'm passing to my friends. My friends pass it to me. We're all trying to get to the end zone. Once we're in the end zone, I'm 1 Raidkiller at a time. 1 Raider at a time. Raidkiller and me, whoever the Raider is. Now it's us. I got to score. All that has to happen in 30 seconds. So strategy is very important in this game. We try to make it as suspenseful as possible. So that's the component of rugby and football that comes into play. Each play, as we know in football, each play you got to get that first down. How are you going to do it? That's the suspense. We don't know. What are they going to do? What is the defense going to do? We don't know. So this is like that, just happening back and forth a lot. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of the game. I hope I explained it well. We're gonna have more videos probably moving forward. I'll find better ways to explain it. I know it could be a little complicated right now.
So why don't you share the website as
Yeah,
well
so
as a Facebook page that
Yep,
you made.
Yep, usraiderball.com is the official site of the North American Raiderball Association.
And that's all one word?
Yep, usraiderball.com. Facebook, you can look us up, US Raiderball. Instagram, US Raiderball, at US Raiderball. Actually, if you go on the website as well, all that's on there, all the social media. And yeah, we just look forward to having more people involved in our sport.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you, Bhavin, for
Thank you,
explaining
guys.
everything.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll hear from you again soon.
Bye now.